Well, everybody knows every Oscar season there are a few people or movies that don't get nominated, and everyone's kind of a little bit perplexed as to why. And these are our thoughts on those movies and people. And we're gonna start with a movie that we all have for Best Picture that we believe got snubbed, and that is The Florida Project.
There was so much about The Florida Project that I loved. The cinematography, for one, was so colorful, and it really made me think of my own childhood, so it really fit with this child-driven story. I love that it seemed like so much of the script was ad-libbed with these kids, and it came across so naturally, so that had to be really difficult to direct as well, to direct so many kids. And the story, too, was extremely moving. There was so much about it, and I don't know why it didn't get nominated.
To tell you the truth, I was really surprised that I saw it in a multiplex.
Oh, really?
Like, I feel like it was the type of movie that 5 years ago, like, would only be in indie theaters.
Yeah.
That's A24 for you. I do think Brooklyn Prince was kind of deserving of an Oscar nod.
Oh, I completely agree with you. I don't know if they have some kind of rule with age.
No, they don't.
They don't?
They don't have a rule.
They just don't like to nominate kids.
She deserved a lead actress nominee, definitely.
Yeah, the thing about Brooklyn Prince's performances is it was so like natural. Like you saw like the kid like joy out of her by doing like the littlest things, and then at the end there's this scene that's just totally heartbreaking, and she just delivers it so well. And just for that one scene alone,
I'm not your sweetie. That's like the line that gets me.
Oh, I was crying so much.
But yeah, I think it was definitely one of the best films of the year. Completely engaging from start to finish, and it, you know, getting all the kids to perform really great is no easy feat. So you could say that maybe the director might have been
Sean
snubbed.
Baker.
Oh yeah, that's another snub for director. Totally, I agree.
So I saw a screening of The Florida Project with Sean Baker in person, and the film was preceded by 2 Our Gang shorts, because Sean Baker actually does consider The Florida Project a sort of modern-day Our Gang film.
Huh.
And at the end, if you pay attention to the credits, he actually does dedicate it to Spanky.
In terms of movies that have had like nominations in other awards, like I, Tonya and The Disaster Artist, do you think that those 2 were snubbed, or do you think that they were rightly not nominated?
I mean, I like Tanya more than a lot of these other nominees, so
Yeah, me
yes. Disaster Artist, not so much. I like it. People who enjoy The Room will enjoy it, but I wasn't having any expectations of it being nominated Best Picture.
But do you think there would have been a better chance that The Disaster Artist would have been nominated if the things with James Franco didn't happen?
No.
Do you think James Franco would have got nominated if the allegations didn't happen?
No.
See, I think that he definitely would have been nominated for Best Actor.
No, I don't think so.
I think he would have. Because of his other nominations.
With the way Hollywood is right now, with all these allegations coming out about certain actors and everything, is it fair to, I don't know, if they did that, is it fair to punish like a team of the movie because of what one person did? I mean, James...
Welcome to the Snubs video.
It's getting a little deeper than that. Well, if
I'm
he
just
was
saying
snubbed,
because...
You're really digging us into a rabbit hole here.
He's a journalist after all.
Because I do think, I did think that James Franco would have been nominated for that performance. And Rebecca said after The Disaster Artist, she wouldn't have been mad if he won for Best Actor.
That was before the allegations.
Before the allegations. So I'm just wondering, it's just a question. I mean, you could leave a comment below if you want, what you think about that. I didn't see the post, but I guess I was a little bit surprised not to see Tom Hanks there just because he's always there.
Well, he didn't get nominated for Sully last year, too.
That's true.
Everyone thought he was going to get a nod for that.
One name that might have surprised some people that wasn't in it, and we didn't see the movie, so it's not fair for us to judge, but I'm sure Rebecca would want her there anyway, is Jessica Chastain, because she was nominated in all the other circuits.
I haven't seen Molly's Game yet, but I always love to see Jessica Chastain anytime I can see Jessica Chastain.
I haven't seen that movie, but all the stills, she's just looking so fierce, like when she's in that dress.
I know. Oh, hot freaking
So
I have such a crush on her.
She should get an Oscar nod just for the way she looks in that movie. Just give it to her.
It's just her face, you know?
Yeah, just her face and a little bit underneath it.
Well, the big snub for a lot of people in this category is Vicky Krieps from Phantom Thread.
Oh, okay. So did you agree that that's a snub?
It is a snub. I mean, it's a real like breakthrough performance, and I feel like that's going to be the theme here. Like all these snubs are kind of like breakthrough performances, like actors who aren't exactly well known. Yeah, she was definitely like the one no one had heard of, and you watch the film and it's like, oh, where did this come from? And also one performance that really like I thought was great. Another breakthrough from Florence Pugh in Lady Macbeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's out on DVD.
Yeah, I heard about
you
that
should
one.
watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Very bleak movie. And she's really young. She was born 96.
Wow.
But like she carries herself like a seasoned veteran.
I thought Michael Shannon in Shape of Water deserved a nomination. I was very surprised he didn't get it. Just because like anytime I really hate a character so much, I think it has a lot to do with their performance. It's more than just script.
That was actually one of my two big problems in Shape of Water, one being Michael Shannon. And I love Michael Shannon.
Really?
But he felt too Michael Shannon than that. It was like, okay, we get it.
Maybe
like,
not to win.
Like
but
you're a
to-
villain and you do disgusting things with your fingers.
I saw A Shape of Water with a friend too, and he didn't like The Shape of Water, but one thing he did say is that he really did love Michael Shannon's performance, and that really is what made the film for him.
My big one is Barry Cohen, if I'm probably mispronouncing his last name, or Keown from Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
No.
Okay. Essentially, he plays this really awkward young boy, like I think he's around like 17 maybe, like a teenager. But there is like a dark side to him. And he perfectly captures that like sinister underbelly, but he always keeps up that sort of awkward teen.
Well, I'm gonna say something a little bit controversial, I think.
Uh-oh.
Just because he's Ray Romano, just because I love Ray, like everyone loves Ray, I'll just say it. I wanted him to be nominated. Not that I don't know if he deserved it. I'm not gonna call it a snub, but I would have liked to see him at the Oscars, hanging next to Robert.
He was one of my favorite parts of The Big Sick, but I don't think.
It was worthy.
No.
I was half joking about Ray Romano, but I actually wouldn't have mind seeing Holly Hunter in The Big Sick get nominated, because I thought when she was on the screen, I think that was, you know, the best times of the movie, because she was so funny and I think she just brought that character to life. And I know like a lot of, I don't know if you call it a comedy or a dramedy, don't get nominated for actors.
Well, it's a dramedy.
Yeah, dramedy. But I do think she was a really great part of that movie, and I wouldn't have
We
been
haven't
upset
seen her in
if
a
she
while,
was
I feel like,
nominated.
too.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, Holly Hunter.
but I thought she was the best part of that movie.
Okay, I haven't seen Girls Trip, but a lot of people were rooting for Tiffany Haddish.
She's a funny woman.
Have you seen Girls Trip?
No, but when she
Okay.
hosted
But-
SNL, I was highly impressed.
Oh, and also I loved Robert Pattinson in Good Time, but I knew he wasn't gonna get a nod.
Oh, yeah, that one got overlooked.
Yeah, but that was like the perfect, like, okay, he's moved on from the Twilight shadow.
Yeah.
And I really liked Lego Batman and Captain Underpants. I mentioned earlier that Captain Underpants was, for me, one of the funniest movies of last year. Both more deserving than The Boss Baby and probably Ferdinand.
Becca, I know you mentioned after we saw Lady Bird that the editing was amazing, phenomenal. So did it get snubbed for film editing?
I would have liked to see it nominated for editing just because
Which film?
Lady Bird, actually.
Oh, really? I kind of thought the editing was the weakest part of the movie.
Not, because maybe if you think of it as a technical, if you think of editing only as technical, I could see that. But the way it was used for the storytelling of the story, I really liked it, because I think a lot of times there are scenes that go on for too long in movies, and there are parts that we don't even need to see, and this movie just like knew where to take you to.
For foreign language film, I loved Raw, so I would have loved to see that nominated. Maybe it was because of release date, I don't know, or maybe France didn't submit it, but it would have been nice if it got nominated.
Let us know if you have any snubs. Is there anything you're really mad about? Anything you're really happy didn't get nominated? You could let us know in the comments. And until then, we'll see you next time.